That is me, climbing to over 13,000 feet in the middle of the night. My partner Kevin here is roughly 70 miles into the Hardrock 100, one of the toughest ultramarathons in the world, with a cumulative 33,000 feet of vertical gain in Colorado's rugged San Juan Mountains. I joined him as his pacer about 14 miles ago in Ouray to help guide him through the night and get him safely to the finish. But maybe I jumped ahead a little bit here. Let's go back to when this whole adventure started. I'd left Vancouver on a road trip to Colorado about a week earlier with Solomon athlete Gary Robbins. We picked up Kevin en route near Mount Vernon and continued on our way, making the 22-hour drive over roughly 31 hours, camping at a rest stop outside of Price, Utah.
We are currently on our way to Hardrock. We're almost in Ouray right now, and then we will be heading off to Silverton.
Yeah, we just came through Ridgeway, which is just under, it's like 6,600 feet. We're driving up to Ouray right now, which is at 9, and then Silverton at 10. And just behind these mountains on our right side is Telluride, and that's, I think, 9.5. And what I've learned from talking to a lot of people over the last few years is too many people come in high and they stay high, and they don't come out and recover low. And you want to be about 7,000 feet or lower at night when you're resting and recovering, and you want to train high. And it's not ideal because then you're driving every day to do your workouts. But if you want your best chance at success, it's sleeping low and training high. And eventually when I get into this race at some point, that's my intention, is to come early, stay low in this town, in this area, drive into Ouray and into Telluride for the day, and then come back for a couple of weeks to properly acclimate and allow my body to recover and recoup each night. Ouray is known to be the happening. Have officially just eclipsed 10,000 feet, and I can feel it in the truck too. The truck is like, never been this high. Sleep down here. Crush the new line.
Hardrock is a 100-mile looped course. Each year, the race switches direction, with this year being run counterclockwise, traveling through the ghost town of Sherman and the towns of Ouray and Telluride, crossing 13 major passes, mostly between 12,000 to 13,000 feet, the highest being the 14,000-foot summit of Handy's Peak, before returning to Silverton.
The average finisher here is 40 to 44 hours. And so everything that you're gonna go through in an average 100-miler is just magnified. You're out there in the elements. A lot longer than a race like Western States or Leadville or something. It can be just hours before you get to an aid station to kind of deal with it. So it's Hardrock. They're placed pretty far between.
Our youngest, Kevin Douglas. a lot of hazards up there. The most important of those is probably lightning.
It's wet, it's cold, it's not like the last couple of years you've been up here.
I try to conceptualize it, tell them, well, what they're doing is running from sea level to the top of Mount Everest and back at about 2 miles above sea level.
All right, so here we are, day 2 in Silverton. I'm just getting ready for a run here. Gonna go out for to run the last 10 miles or so of the course with Gary Robbins. I think we're getting a ride from Killian up to about 10 miles back. No biggie. Hardrock is really the best place to be in the world, I'd say, for any true fan of ultra running.
Or if it's foggy, you don't really see it well, but if it's...
We went up Grant Swamp Pass yesterday, and I was expecting there to be a bit more snow, and everyone I've talked to has said this was a high snow year, which it is, but the last 9 days has been very mild. When the sun is out, very warm, and then
raining it melts a lot too. So.
Yeah. So when we got up there yesterday, there was a lot less than we expected, and we posted a picture, and people commented and said they couldn't believe how much less snow was there than 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Because you were expecting a bit more too.
Yeah,
right?
it was. I saw the pictures of Frosty for the last 2-3 weeks, and it was like, wow, it's all the course in snow. and yesterday was in one of the highest pass. And
well, you actually brought your skimo gear, right?
Yeah, I was thinking I would do like that.
Up we go.
13,000 feet, here we come.
Grant Swamp Pass is off behind this ridge in the clouds, and you'll come down and you can actually see the trail on the opposite side of the valley. You'll drop down that trail right into the basin and then back up the climb that we're doing right now. It's just incredible out here.
That?
I'm awake.
That'll definitely wake you up at mile 98.
Around that bluff and down into Silverton.
That's it.
It's like gradual laps. It's just like this screen deal that's just
and a whole lot more cheerful than your runner is at the time, and know that even though they're running 100 miles, pacing 20-30 miles is equally as hard. So show up on time, get some rest, and have some food in your belly, and get out on the course and have front row seats to the most exciting 100-miler out there.
So this is our 3rd day in Silverton, and it was a pretty busy one in town. I'm just getting my stuff ready right now. I'm going to be pacing Kevin tomorrow, jumping in at Ouray, which is just past the halfway point, taking him in for the last 46 or 47 miles. And even half this course is no joke, so I'm just double and triple checking all my gear. I'm using poles, which I don't normally do, a hard shell for sure. There's definitely a few extra considerations on a course like this with the rain we're going to have.
Less than 12 hours to the start. Yeah, gonna hit the sack in about 2 hours and wake up at about 4:30 and get to the start and start at 6. I've done the training. I feel like I've rested. It's just I haven't been at altitude, so slow and steady even more on this race than almost any other 100.
He's gonna make us proud.
Let's see if there's a tear down the middle to give you.
It's a big undertaking for everybody, and I think if you're willing to accept that fact, then your day's already going to be going a bit better. But you know, smile out there, have fun, and be ready to have a long day.
When the morning of the race had finally arrived, 152 runners would toe the line, most for the second time, many for the 5th, 10th, and even 21st. They'll take an average of more than 41 hours to finish, thanks to the elevation and the difficulty in terrain, which includes scree slopes, snowpacks, boulder fields, and river crossings, which means seeing the sunset twice before finishing. I'd spend the day with some friends who were crewing for Hardrock legend and 9-time finisher Billy Simpson, making our way between aid stations as I waited to join Kevin on course.
All right, yeah, we just rolled into Cunningham, which is the first aid station. So rad, you see the runners coming down switchbacks, so you hear the people hooting and hollering, but this is one of the most amazing places on earth.
There's a couple of runners probably within 10 yards of each other. One's in all white and one's in dark blue. But I did see guys, like I said.
Adam was hoping 7:45 to 8 o'clock to come through here. I did see someone in mostly black coming down, so I'm hoping that'll be him. He's got everything kind of pre-packaged. We'll just be refilling the bottles later in the day, maybe make some warm fluids. And then we've got 3 pacers for him for later tonight into the morning, so it's pretty exciting. The cloud totally doesn't allow us to see. Oh, there's some more people up top. It'd be unusual for Killian not to do really well today. I would expect he'd be aiming to try and win the thing, obviously. I'm a bit biased, so I'm hoping Adam will be up there, and then maybe Mike Foote. I don't know, we'll see.
Okay. Welcome. Nice job. Nice job, Killian.
Good job, Killian. Adam is definitely seems like he's firing on all cylinders this morning. Has no qualms taking it out. He's in the lead with Killian. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, Adam's definitely feeling fit and he knows the course, so this is a good thing. I'm excited to see him at the front.
At 7:45, so they're perfect.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's pretty chilly too. Like,
yeah, you're not too tough.
Nice job, man. Good, brother. Everybody. Hi. Yeah, Kevin. Nice work, man. How's it feeling so far? Legs are okay, or?
They're not bad.
You guys, I got
Just walking, kind of jogging downhill there.
American Basin, and a couple of lightning bolts hit some of the peaks in the distance. It's clearly coming our way, so we took off and got out of there before it got ugly, but the sun came out now, so it blew over. It looked like everybody was alright.
Oh man, he's 42 miles. It's a little sketchy. Yeah, man, it was great. Sucked in. Foggy. This thing is
Jacket in here is completely useless now because it's wet. Okay. By the time you hit the top, it was sideways hair. Okay.
Look, are you fantastic? I'll see this. You guys are leaving? It's just the altitude.
All right, so it's about midnight, Friday night. I'm about to jump in to pace Kevin. He should be in any time within the next half hour or so here at Ouray. I got about 20 minutes sleep since getting up at 4 a.m. So I'm a little bit tired, but obviously nowhere near as tired as Kevin's going to be. So just got to rally and try to try to get him through the night. So that about brings us back up to speed and back up this mountain. We now face the challenge of climbing up the pass to the famed Kroger's Canteen.
There's more fun. Good job, runners.
Kevin had started pretty conservatively and was handling the altitude well, and we began passing quite a few runners. But as he grew increasingly tired, it would be my job to make sure he was staying on top of his nutrition and his hydration.
1, 2, 1, and pacer.
The sun rose over Telluride, and with it, we both got a second wind. I'd managed to get a GPS file from last year's race, which we ended up relying on pretty heavily through Oscar's Pass. Some of the lead runners had apparently wasted quite a bit of time route finding here during the night. Thunderstorms were looming ahead, which we hoped would pass before our next big climb. We waited out a heavy shower at Chapman Gulch Aid Station, and the clouds eventually did part as we continued on to Grant Swamp Pass, where we were treated to some of our most incredible views yet. We managed to catch up with a couple of friendly faces, and together we inched our way up the last major climb where Gary and I had run just a couple of days before. Exhausted but elated, the four of us stumbled our way through the final miles back to Silverton.
I've never had one.
Oh,
nice.
That's gonna go on Facebook.
Dave Bonner. Pretty great Kevin Jeff, what's up? Kevin is our youngest finisher this year. 35 hours, 18 minutes.
The next day, while Kevin was recovering, I took the chance to check out some of the course that I'd missed. I had my own big race coming up, which happened to be a Hardrock qualifier, so I can only hope to be towing the line at Hardrock myself sooner than later. But that'll be another story altogether.